the visitors and members to please introduce themselves in the chat box today, because we have 300 plus visitors attending this webinar. I will start with the introduction of the speaker. Good morning, everyone. We all know that Chanakya was considered as extremely cunning and shrewd politician. He is also known as one of the earliest economists of ancient India. But do you know that it was Chanakya who was responsible for uniting entire nation when India was attacked by Alexander the Great? Topic for today's 10th webinar session is leadership during uncertain times, the Chanakya way. Friends, let's get some inside secrets on how to use Chanakya Niti in this uncertain time from someone who is a well-known management speaker, author, and management guru. He is well known for his internationally best-selling book, Corporate Chanakya, which has been on the bestseller list since its launch in 2010. He has written nearly 200 articles for various magazines, newspapers, and journals. He has also hosted a radio show, Ask Chanakya, on Moksha channel of World Space Satellite Radio, which has completed nearly 100. He has been awarded the prestigious Sardar Patel International Award 2009 and Avishkar Chanakya Innovation Research Award 2013 for his research and contribution in field of management and industrial development. So friends, please let us all give a today's webinar session, Dr. Radhakrishnan.
A warm good morning to everyone.
Good morning, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you're audible, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. So Prabhatam, Pranam, it's a weekend. And the interesting part is that we have forgotten what is weekend. So, we don't know when the day starts, when the day ends, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. But let me remind you, today is Saturday. The day when probably every time we look forward to spending time with family and friends. Unfortunately, we are only spending time with family and friends. We are waiting to go out and start our businesses. So let me remind you that today is one of those days before the lockdown and after the lockdown, all of us would have looked forward to meeting friends, not digitally, but physically face to face. So let me start by telling, actually, I'm feeling very proud to be back to meet all my friends in the 10 group, the Entrepreneurs Network. I've been a member myself, thanks for the whole team for making me an honorary member. Thanks to everyone over here, right from Rahul sir to Sandhya ma'am to Ram Kumar sir and everyone over here. So I think the whole team is like yaron se milna, doston se milna, and it is it's not just yaro doston se milna, but dhande ki baat bhi karna, because everybody is worried about their cash flows. Everybody is worried about kya situation kab hoga, kya hoga, kaise hoga. I understand it. So what we will do now for the next 1 hour that we have got, we will do some charcha. Okay. So Narendra Modi became Prime Minister through chai pe charcha. That was his formula. Chai to nahi pi sakte samne aise, we cannot have the tea face to face, but at least, thoda charcha to kar sakte hain. And interestingly, we can at least take the name of Chanakya and the ideas of Chanakya to take this particular discussion forward. So with your kind of, permission with all the organizers, I like to start. Is that okay?
Sure. Yes, sir. One minute before, you get started, sir, is that participants, Dr. Radhakrishnan will be taking your questions at the end of the session. I kindly request you all to put your questions on the chat window if you have. We will not be able to take every question, I believe, but we will try and take a few, and the remaining we will try and answer it over the email by taking Dr. Radhakrishnan's replies and sharing it over the email later on, along with our thank you message, along with the replay link that we'll be sharing with you. We'll also be sharing some of the replies out there of the questions that you all have asked. Thank you so much, participants. Be active, be responsive, keep sharing your thoughts so that we know that how interesting the session has been for you all. Keep the energy flowing. Back to you, Dr. Radhakrishnan.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you so much for your appreciation and getting the people to keep messaging regularly. So friends, before we start about Chanakya, I would say there are two organizations that have come together. You have seen the invite, our very dear 10 group and Chanakya Anvikshiki Private Limited. So that is the organization.
Ram, unmute yourself. Ram, unmute your, please.
No.
Ram, mute yourself. Mute.
It's not mine.
Please mute all the participants except the faculty.
Okay, now I'm unmuted by the host. Thank you so much for this. So I'm audible now? Yes. Thank you so much. So before I begin, let me just tell you that, this one more organization which is partnering and participating in this, Chanakya Anvikshiki Private Limited. You can see the two green color logos on your poster, the 10, not green color, orange color. 10 as an orange color, and you can see CA, that is Chanakya Anvikshiki. I'll not speak about it much right now, because my subject is to speak on leadership during uncertain times. I will be also requesting Pranav, who is part of my company, who heads the whole services, to speak about it towards the end. So let us not get into the discussion about the company at this stage. So let us straight get into the topic for the day. It is leadership during uncertain times was most important, the Chanakya way. Yes, my dear friends, Chanakya was a leadership guru, a person who was a Raj Guru. A Raj Guru is even higher than the guru, higher than the leader. So today we are going to actually understand what were the thoughts of Chanakya that actually has been useful over generations. So I want to tell you that my whole journey over the last 20 years is to understand Chanakya. Yes, that is very important. क्योंकि समझने से पहले कोई भी काम करना नहीं चाहिए. That is what Chanakya says. So I try to understand it. I've done my PhD. I've studied the Arthashastra, taught the Arthashastra, and most important, applied it in my own life. So ऐसा नहीं कि कहानी बोल रहा हूँ, खुद के जीवन में उतार के उसका जो as you see, the formula success I have seen in my own life, and the best part of that, I have tried to duplicate that success with others also. On the popular side, you must have seen this book of mine, which is called Corporate Chanakya. And this book currently is celebrating its 10th year anniversary. So more than 1 million copies sold. So that shows the success of Chanakya in leadership, and especially business leadership. The second book I want to just show you, not many people may be aware of it, but this is my latest book. This is my 15th book. 15 किताबें हो गए 10 साल में. This is called Chanakya Niti. Okay, and this is also currently doing extremely well. So many books. You can go on Google and search it, or we can send you details. But the whole idea is that today, in this particular time frame that we have, I want to give you the gist of leadership and how to manage it during certain and uncertain times. So किताबों के बारे में बात नहीं करूंगा, but जितने भी किताब लिखे हैं, जितना भी मैंने समझा है, उसका simple as I say, I'm going to give you 4-point takeaway. Very simple, not too much. It's 4-point takeaway. So whenever we attend so many webinars now, itana ho gaya, sometimes you feel it's over. See, because everybody is knowledgeable, but the mind, the memory cannot recollect what is happening where, and everybody is an expert. And the good part is that we should listen to everyone. But the whole idea is that if you go back maybe after all this lockdown period, and then after maybe 1 or 2 years, okay, or maybe after 6 months, when you suddenly will become hectic and busy, you say, "वो Radhakrishnan Pillai वाला, वो जो 10 वाला program में से हमने क्या सीखा?" So you should have minimum 3 or 4 takeaways. So it's going to be very simple. I'm going to talk a lot about Chanakya, but I'm going to give you 4 takeaways. So this, that definitely whenever we go back to this particular session, we have these 4 things in mind. Yeah. So let me just start by telling first about the word leadership itself. Please understand this. Leadership is such an important thing that as a nation, we have not focused on it. Till now, we were all thinking like followers. Okay, we're all thinking like followers, because somebody else will decide what is to be done. But the reality is that leadership is a very, very big responsibility. And as they say, the final buck stops with you. अभी ऊपर कोई देख नहीं सकता, क्योंकि आप ही सबसे ऊपर हो. You are at the peak. You can't climb further. And leadership is also responsibility. It's a big responsibility. And I always say, look at leadership not only as a position, the chairman of a company, managing director, CEO, or if you're into politics, it can be a CM, PM, MLA, whatever. Or if you look at academics, it could be a principal of a college, a vice chancellor of a university, head of department. The biggest problem that we don't realize is that for us, leadership has always been about the person, जो व्यक्ति वहां पे बैठा हुआ है. That is also leadership, but what I call it's called positional leadership. But I'm talking about the mindset of a leader or responsibility of a leader. Okay. So what is the responsibility of a leader? Let me tell you a story, and it's a real story. Okay. And this was told by one of the very high profile government bureaucrats. So it is not यहाँ वहाँ से सुनी हुई कहानी WhatsApp forward नहीं है. So it so happened that when India got freedom from the Britishers, this was almost 70 plus years ago, 1947. Okay, so when freedom was given, there was no too much of communication. We didn't have social media. Even if we had newspapers and all those things, the literacy level wasn't very high. So the government used to actually go from villages to villages, and you remember that some of the serials you will see, the drum bajate the, tak 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 tak, suno suno suno, and they will make that announcement. Okay, so because the government had to communicate to the people, they used to use that method. Now, man ki baat, so tomorrow you will see Prime Minister directly speaking. So today we have the technology, we have the access, but during those days they had to actually send people to villages to make the announcements. So in such an announcement, the government had to make that now we have got freedom. Okay, so now all that freedom struggle is over and we are free. So they went to a village. Okay, and they, tang 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 tang, everybody came in. Chalo suno suno suno, kya? Britishers chale gaye, Angrez chale gaye hain, and we are now free. The announcement made, and this is official records. Okay, one person came and asked that person, "Acha, Angrez chale gaye, ab hum pe raj kaun karega?" So who is actually going to now lead us? So think about this mindset ki after so many years of maybe 300, 400 years of so much foreign invasions, the Dutch, the Mughal, all the Portuguese and all, we never thought that humko abhi apna life mein decision lena hai. So the mindset of that country was somebody else will take a decision. So think about it. Angrez chale gaye, ab hum pe raj kaun karega? When I heard this story from this IAS friend of mine, I said, my goodness, ये वो 70 साल पुरानी वाली बात नहीं है, ये तो 2020 की भी बात है. The whole problem is that we wait for somebody else to decide. Oh my goodness, we wait for the government to decide. Stimulus package. Ram. Thank you so much. My dear friends, it is not the government. The government can support. But I work with the government. I am a government bureaucrat. I work with so many projects of the government. And you know what the government says? अरे हम तो policy बनाएंगे, काम तो आपको करना है. Understand this logic. And it has become such a big joke in our country that we keep doing something called as blame game. Yes, my dear friends. इसने वो नहीं किया, इसने ये नहीं किया. But leadership is asking yourselves, तुमने क्या किया? My dear friends, I'm very clear on this particular thing कि ये अपने आप से पूछो. और ये सवाल का आपको जवाब मिल गया, then you are a real leader. Then you are a real leader. चाणक्य never says कि आगे देखा जाएगा. अरे वो ठीक है. And believe me, if you understand this thought, कि मैंने क्या किया, it is not a simple thought about leading a company. It's the most powerful thought that India has given to the world, and that is called karma yoga. Yes, my dear friends, it is not about इसने क्या किया, उसने क्या किया, and it is the highest spiritual thought that you can ever have. And as businessmen, it is your dharma. Please use this word, okay? It is your duty and responsibility to show your leadership during these uncertain times. Yes, my dear friends, अगर ये बात समझ में नहीं आई तो keep attending webinars. Congratulations. इसके बाद और 4 invitations आ जाएंगे. सोच को बदलना है, और सोच को बदलना is about leadership की सोच का परिवर्तन अपने आप में लेके आना. Yes, my dear friends, this is Chanakya. Chanakya never waited for somebody else. He took the initiative. Instead of cursing the darkness, start lighting a candle. अच्छा, it's very, very important. That feeling of leadership जब तक नहीं आता, the responsibility of leadership nahi aata, till then nobody can solve a problem. There's a WhatsApp message that I got and saying that you can read a lot of books, you can talk to a lot of people. Okay, so for example, you have to reduce weight. Maybe just one example. आजकल सब लोग health पे ज़्यादा focus कर रहे हैं. So you can go to a dietitian, you can go and join a gym, you can have some buddies who will go and jog with you. Everything is there. That is all fine. But remember one thing. Finally, a day comes when you realize it is not the coach, it is not the dietitian, it is not anybody around. But finally, I have to take a decision. मुझे weight reduce करना है. Full stop. The journey starts then. External support is good and it is important. Okay, please understand, it's very, very important. But leadership as a thought is not about others. It's about I, me, myself. I'm not telling you to be egoistic. I, me, myself. No. But जब तक मैं शुरुआत नहीं करता, मैं लीडर नहीं बनता. today we have less time, but that's the kind of a responsibility that we can inculcate. And that's for my first thing, takeaway. Okay, first thing, leadership is about starting something. Okay, शुरुआत कौन करता है? Leader. उसके बाद team है, then we have everything. But remember one thing, without a leader taking an initiative, he or she is not a leader. We always wait for somebody else to decide what to do. We wait for the government to give us sanctions. We wait for the teachers to give us good marks. And then we have to decide, somebody will give us a job. And then somebody else, Swami Chinmayanand ji, okay? Swami Chinmayanand ji, who formed Chinmaya Mission, a very great spiritual organization. He said something very nicely. He said, never put the key of your happiness in somebody else's pocket. Never put the key of your happiness in somebody else's pocket. The reason is that हम लोग को लगता है कि वो बताएंगे जरूर. But finally, leadership is a responsibility. Remember the first step. If you think like a leader, then only you will be able to solve the problem. If you don't think like a leader, and interestingly, think like the media. I am a media person myself. I've written for the media, Times of India group. But I tell you one thing, there are two responsibilities of media. One is to create awareness about what is happening in the society, especially in a democratic country like ours. We need to read the newspaper. But the problem is that the media, I'm not telling everyone, but the major part of the media looks at what is lacking. And then it becomes focused and it becomes, big and say, "Arey, itne log mar rahe, migrant mar rahe." But I saw a mail and saying that, a person travel in his car from one place to another. Okay. And he says, I see so many migrants walking, and I'm saying that I see villagers giving some food and water to them. They are sleeping in somebody's houses, temple mein ja rahe. 2 दिन drive करके across India to reach his house. I'm saying that it's not that bad. Yes, थोड़े लोग मर रहे हैं. You should not. But the thing is that you have to understand the world is beautiful. My dear friends, the world is beautiful. It's not that bad. At one end, if a business is suffering, do you know all of you at the other end have given charities for feeding somebody? Isn't it true? So दुनिया में अगर कुछ बुरा चल रहा है तो बहुत ज्यादा का अच्छा भी चल रहा है. Look at the stimulus packages. It is not about the government stimulus packages. We are also paying our employees in during these particular times. So the first thing about leadership, very important thing, understand it's about you. What did you do? Did you contribute towards the negativity? अरे कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. Or did you contribute to some positivity? Remember one thing, even if you have saved, something, okay, if you have helped someone, that's leadership, because that's about initiative, isn't it? In fact, in the Jewish culture, it is said very nicely. बहुत अच्छा बताया उसमें. It is said that if you have saved one life, you have saved all lives. हमें सबको बदलना नहीं है, लेकिन अपने तरफ से एक को help करना है. Think about what a powerful statement. If you have saved one life, you have saved everyone. I would go to the extent of saying, even if you have saved one job, you have actually saved all jobs. That's a responsibility. So leadership, first point, is about you, not about somebody else. Second point, now I'll get a little bit technical. It's called Anvikshiki. Very, very important. Anvikshiki, and that's my pet area. I've written a book on that. It is about inside Chanakya's mind, Anvikshiki and the art of thinking. How to think like a leader. See, I told you, be a leader. But leader, as I told you, is about thinking. What is the process of thinking? Chanakya calls this Prathama Vidya. So if you study the Arthashastra, there is a process of how to think. नहीं तो लोग बोलते सोचो भैया. अरे सोचो, लेकिन कैसे? Is there a method? Yes, there is a method. There is a methodology. So leadership is not just about thinking, but the right way of thinking. Unfortunately, we don't even know thinking. Isn't it true? Chanakya talks about Anvikshiki in details, and I summarize it and saying that Anvikshiki is a science of strategic thinking. Anvikshiki is a science of strategic thinking. हम लोग thinking नहीं करते हैं, हम लोग worry करते हैं. We worry, we don't think. And therefore, we always say, चिंता मत करो, चिंतन करो. In the difficult, uncertain times, we are worrying. मेरा क्या होगा, मेरे company का क्या होगा? ठीक है यार, हो गया ना अभी, रोके, हो गया ना. Now get up and start doing your work. But how? Again, thinking. How to think? And I'll give the formula. You can remember this. Anvikshiki
It's 12 o'clock.
is equal to Sankhya plus Yoga plus Lokayata. Very simple to remember. I can see a lot of people taking notes, and please do that, because here I'm playing also the role of a teacher, and a good teacher becomes very happy when students take it very seriously. I know it's also getting recorded, but that's not the point. Still take notes, okay? So look at this formula, okay? Anvikshiki is equal to Sankhya, Yoga, and Lokayata. So I'll tell you the process. How to think? Sankhya Of course, it's called Sankhya Yoga. Is a very famous chapter in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2. But Mahabharata calls Sankhya as Sankhya. No? Look at numbers. If you are not good in numbers, you will never be a good leader. Chanakya said, if you're a Raja, you should know your Praja, the count of your Praja. 130 crore people. When we got independence, it was 30 crore people. Tomorrow, maybe after 10 years, it may be 140 crore people, whatever. But numbers, जिनको आंकड़े समझ में नहीं आए, उनको leadership समझ में नहीं आ सकता. Please understand this. You should have a grip on numbers. So whenever there is a situation, look at your numbers. So I would say that, this is the right time to focus on numbers of your business. Take out your balance sheets. If not the balance sheet, your cash flow statements. Talk to your chartered accountant. And then you say, क्या लग रहा है आपको? Then look at it. And then it's very easy for you to understand how much is the salary to be paid, where it can be cut down. But if you don't have numbers, you'll never be able to take a decision. Look at the whole world is getting into business analytics. What is business analytics? If you look at Google, Facebook, Jio, Amazon, Indian companies also for that matter, they're good because they understand data. Okay, so get your numbers correct. So when you're taking a decision, you have to understand, show me the data first. So number crunching is very important for the right decision making. Okay, Sankhya. But when the number comes, we get डर जाते हैं. अरे राम 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 राम. पैसा नहीं है. Wait. Yoga means calm and quiet. Okay. When a leader has to take a decision, when the data comes, it can be very frightening, sometimes. अरे कुछ नहीं है. There is nothing in the kitty. Relax. Yoga is not only asanas or pranayam. Okay. It's also state of mind. And you say calm. ठीक है. Like for example, coronavirus, मर रहे. अरे क्या मर रहे? कितने मर रहे हैं? ठीक है. Let's look down. कितना लोगों को हुआ है? 2 लाख. ठीक है. 2 लाख. How much संख्या? Remember? 130 crore people. 130 crore में 2 लाख. ठीक है. बढ़ के कितना का? 5 लाख, 10 लाख. Bad, very bad numbers. Okay. But you said ठीक है. Use your rationality and say 30 lakh people को भी हो गया तो 130 crore में 30 lakhs. By the time action will come out. Don't worry. Okay. तो 2 लाख लोगों को हुआ है. कितने लोग रिकवर हुए हैं? हाँ, इतने लोग रिकवर हुए. परसेंटेज. ओके. कितने लोग मरे हैं? You will be surprised when your mind calmly looks at numbers. You say, oh, the situation is not that bad. That's why, the whole challenge is life versus livelihood. बोला मरेंगे तो चलो काम करके मरो. That's what people are deciding, isn't it? The reality is that you should be calm and quiet. Of course, you have to be careful also. I'm not telling you, don't be impulsive. So Sankhya can give you insight कि कहाँ पे fact है, figure है. In fact, there is a great business strategist and used to be a great investor, an American guy. And a lot of people used to come with business ideas. So they're very good, very good. I like your business idea, but show me the data. Okay, so I like your business idea, but show me the data. देखो मैं हमेशा जो young entrepreneurs होते हैं कॉलेज में भी काफी गाइड करता हूँ. बोले business plan is made on a word file or a PPT, but business runs on an Excel sheet or numbers. तो बच्चे लोग एक्साइट होते हैं इतना मार्केट साइज है. बोले ठीक है भैया, that is all good business plan. It's an idea, but the real business works on Excel sheets, numbers. The first thing, Sankhya Yoga. But when you look at numbers, calm, quiet, lokayata. ये सब करने के बाद you should be practical, isn't it true? So ये सब करने के बाद what are the steps that you have to take? That is very, very important to manage certain times and uncertain times. Okay, you start looking at it saying, okay, मेरे को at the end of it, I can't be just looking at numbers and be शांत. अरे कुछ तो करो. You have to do some actionable, isn't it true? So therefore, I say, जो leader के पास आन्वीक्षिकी की विद्या है. Okay, what is आन्वीक्षिकी? The right method of thinking. Okay, the right method of thinking. Then you will understand to take decisions through numbers with the right frame of mind and something which is practical. I always say, a leader should have three things in mind. Okay, PPS. What is the meaning of PPS? Be positive, be practical, and be spiritual. Positivity, चलो करते हैं, ठीक है? That is positive. हम भी करेंगे. And so many songs are coming on. All the artists are trying to motivate us. Yes, positive. But you have to be practical. हम केवल चले कहाँ चले? तो numbers. Okay, practical and spiritual. Please understand. After all these planning, there is one plan that you should understand. God's plan. देखो भगवान problem देता है, उसके पहले problem solution देता है. Yes, remember one thing. There is no problem in the world without a solution. Unfortunately, we are so problem focused that we don't look at solutions. Leaders understand the problem, but they focus on solutions. Leaders understand the problem and zaruri hai, but they focus on solutions. So PPS, be positive, be practical, be spiritual. Understand God has given this situation to us. But remember one thing, God also knows the solution. You as an individual should connect to the universe I hope everybody prays in this situation. Huh? When I say prayer, I'm not telling begging. Hey, Bhagwan, bacha le. Arey, that is not prayer. Prayer is not begging. Prayer is bringing out your Atma Bala. You know, as a leader, when you go to fight, you should be like Yudhishthira. Yuddha mein jo sthir rehta hai. That is why Pandavas selected him. He had his own weaknesses, Yudhishthira. But remember one thing, he had something called as Atma Bala and clarity. In fact, you know, there is a very interesting phase in Mahabharata. It is called the Yaksha Prashna. Okay, any question you ask to Yudhishthira, and he's clear in his thinking. That is why he's called as Dharmaraj. He has his weaknesses. Every leader has it, you know. So people say, "Aisa kyun kiya, waisa kyun?" Theek hai. But remember one thing, even Krishna, Bhishmacharya, Kripacharya, everybody says Arjuna may be the best warrior, but leader ek hi ho sakta hai, Yudhishthira. Yes, that's leadership. So when you pray, don't pray like a beggar, Bhagwan, tada paisa bhej de, government kuch karega. Nahin, Atma Bal ko badhana hai. Andar se, that spiritual person is ready to fight a war. And look at Bhagavad Gita. It is not given in a peacetime. It is actually in the midst of a war. And you say, you know, developing a cold feet, Arjuna saying that nahi karna hai. Arre kya nahi karna hai? Utho. The whole philosophy of India is to actually fight in uncertain times. When you're on a battle, you don't even know arrow kahan se aayega. Upar se aayega, niche se aayega, Brahmastra aayega, Indrastra aayega. ठीक है, अस्त्र शस्त्र is one part of it, but what is your mental state? याद रखिएगा, परिस्थिति doesn't matter, your मनस्थिति matters. Paristhiti doesn't matter, your manasthiti matters. It is not the thing outside, it is how you tackle the thing inside. Very important, Anvikshiki. So remember, the first thing is about leadership. Invoke the leader in you. Second is Anvikshiki. Third and the most important thing, which I'm sure all of you are already doing, it's called Mitra Sambandha. Okay, and finally, kuch nahi hoga. Remember one thing, you must be reading newspapers and those lot of WhatsApp problems forwards also. Along with the financial problem, one of the biggest challenges we are facing is also mental health problems. Yes, we should understand this. So people, you know, it's okay to sit down at home for 2 months and, you know, relax. And the employees are sometimes happy, you know, at least leadership is good, we are getting our salaries and all. But the reality is that kitna der karoge? So what is the way of actually handling the mental health problem is Mitra Sambandha. Discuss with others. So if you have a problem, don't sit down ki mera, na. Tumhara nahi, sabka problem hai, my dear friends. Every day, ever since the lockdown, I've been really talking to friends and we give solutions to each other. In fact, my best friend has become in this particular time is my chartered accountant. Believe me, this was the best time ever in my life. For me, chartered accountant till now, my chartered accountant was an accountant, okay? But now he's become my best friend. You know why? Because together we are actually building our strategies ki kaise tackle karna. He gives me idea. I said, wow, I speak to industrialists, I speak to Pranav and my team continuously. And then I feel so energized. Akele baithoge to kuch nahi hoga. And believe me, you know, Noel Harari, who is a Nobel laureate and he written many books on this, the 21st century and, you know, all those books. He says something very nice. Human beings are wired in such a way that they cannot think alone. We are a social being, as they say, you know, social animal bolte hain. But I say at least not of a spiritual being, but at least a social being. So we are supposed to be a social being where we understand that in this particular time of crisis and uncertain times, come se kam baat to karo, lift up a phone call, attend all these webinars, but talk to people. You'll get better ideas. And you know, one person said eventually, ki basically never think with one brain. Think with multiple brains. Yes, to speak to them. I know, you know, I was once discussing with a very dear friend of mine. I mean, so sab mere dear friends hi hai, you know, so 10 years also my friends. But there's a friend called Jayesh Rambia ji. Okay, so Jayesh Rambia is actually the president of All India Manufacturers, Plastic Manufacturers Association. So sab industry ki aise bolte lagi hai. So plastic industry is also lagi hai. Even before the lockdown lagi hai. Kaise? Because government is coming with plastic rules and this and that. Industry has got affected. But I saw, बोले कि कभी भी tension है तो call करता है. Call करो यार. I should tell him ऐसा करो वैसा करो. And believe me, you know what he did? He actually, the government doesn't listen. Like Twitter चालू करो. चालू किया Twitter. Today the government has called him. He starts tweeting about the industry, saying this is to be done, this is to be done. कोई सुनता नहीं था उसका. Social media में बैठ के tweeting कर रहा है. Today he's become the advisor to the industry and the ministry. So this is when you get idea. अकेला बैठ के रो रहा है, खुद का कंपनी का रो रहा है, इंडस्ट्री के बारे में रो रहा है. But when he talked to me, okay, good. I also got ideas from him. So what is important is that, don't fight a battle alone. Take some friends along. Very, very important. Never fight a battle alone. Take some friends along. युद्ध करना है अकेले क्या करना भैया, तुम कौन सा बड़ा योद्धा हो. Even the best Yoddha knows that I require some friends with me. So when you go for a battle, have some allies. Mahabharat Dekho War, yeah, World War. It is not about two parties. It's two groups who come together to help each other. So never fight a battle alone. Take some friends along. So Mitra Sambandha is the third point. The fourth point as a takeaway is my favorite. It's called Vriddha Sanyoga. I have really benefited from my life on this particular principle. What is the meaning of Vriddha Sanyoga? So please understand, Vriddha means those people who are elders and experienced and knowledgeable. तीन चीजें याद रखिएगा. Vriddha doesn't mean only old. और वृद्धाश्रम में बैठा है. Yes, because it's old age citizen care room. That is only one dimension of Vriddha. Anybody who has got experience in life, knowledge in life, okay, is also a Vriddha. And unfortunately, we look at Vriddha only from age. It's also experience. And today we have a concept called as reverse mentoring. Isn't it true? So what is the reverse mentoring? Maybe a young boy or a girl can be your mentor. He can be a Vriddha for a particular field. Isn't it? So if you look at technology, I'm sure all of you know this, that the younger boys and girls are actually born in technology. It is not about, they have technology. Technology ke bina soch bhi nahi sakte. So when I have a technology problem, I actually call up younger boys and girls. And believe me, if you look at Pranav and the team, that you're very young, but they come with so much breakthrough ideas. And said, wow, I'm very popular on social media. And the kind of a turnaround that happened in the lockdown, my Twitter followers were 3,000 and now today it's 21,000. 21,000 in just 2 months. Kabhi life mein itna nahi kiya. I've been in Twitter for almost like 7-8 years. In the last 2 months, it became 7 times bigger. You know who gave me that idea? A young boy called as Ranveer, Manish Pandey, Virat. They're all small, they're YouTubers. And they make a lot of money, by the way. Don't think that, these YouTubers are doing some time pass. There is the general YouTubers who go it for popularity. But do you know YouTube is a big business model? Social media. So when I have a problem, I just call up somebody. And that young boy and a girl is Vriddha for me. You have to be humble enough and understand this. The knowledge is not the kind of, the asset of a particular generation. And I think we generation should also understand we are egoistic. हमने देखा है, अरे क्या तुमने देखा है? तुमको देखने को ही नहीं आता. The world has already changed. And we all sit down and think investment should be done in real estate. हो गया ना? I'm not saying real estate investment, not that. The young generation doesn't understand कि तुम लोग क्या बोल रहे हो. घर होना चाहिए, ठीक है. They don't even buy houses. And one of the problems of real estate is not coronavirus lockdown. They're not able to sell because the young generation है किधर रहेंगे, क्या रहेंगे, पता नहीं है. You have to understand the future is in the hands of the next generation. And you should be a smart guy to learn from everyone. So when it comes to technology, Vriddha is actually people who are younger than you. So I'm sure this is the right time to leadership to actually think about inculcating technology into your business. This is the right time to think about business process re-engineering. Get yourself into activation or think about how business can be used. And let me tell you, सबसे पहले business में ना आदत हो गई है. कितना पैसा लगेगा? काय का पैसा लगेगा? सोच लगता है, पैसा नहीं. कोई भी परिवर्तन पैसे से नहीं होता. परिवर्तन होता है जब सोच बदल जाती है. So do you want to adopt to technology? अरे क्या? हाँ या ना? So yes, you can at least start free. At least get your social presence. And believe me, 9 out of 10 applications, if you really want to get interested, is free. But सोच ही नहीं है. हाँ, once you understand it, if revenue starts coming in, we have started making revenues in this lockdown period. How? Because I can't go out. But people want knowledge. I'm using knowledge. And what is this webinar? 300 people attending from across the globe. कुछ नहीं होता. अरे क्या कुछ नहीं होता? Look at the other side of it. That's why when you start an idea, Vriddha Sanyoga. Ask the expert, what do you think? In fact, today morning I was in a con call with some big investors and saying that, क्या लगता है आपको, क्या लगता है? Bankers. Don't sit down over there and think कि क्या होगा? Vriddha Sanyoga. उनको पूछो. क्या लगता है आपको? So you have to understand, knowledge doesn't have limitations, but knowledge has experts. Seek the expert and the knowledge will come to you with practical application. Yes, my dear friends. So I always believe in technology. I've been ahead of technology. In the last few years, probably, I was so busy, but this was a great period for me during lockdown to relook at technology. And Pranav and my whole team, Meena, Tushar, and if you look at Kartika or Milan, they all are young boys and girls working 24/7. There is no limit in technology. And we have turned around our complete business model. So physical business will be there, but a digital business is suddenly becoming big. And there are investors saying that, aap invest kare. Wow, not bad. We never knew about this. Why am I telling you all these things, friends, is that during uncertain times, there is opportunities. Yes, and opportunities is something if you don't capture, gone. There's a thing about opportunity that Swami Chinmayanand used to tell. Again, my spiritual guru who founded the Chinmaya mission, he said something nicely. He said, when opportunities arrive, either you are sleeping inside or you're gone outside. A lot of people say, opportunity kidhar hai, batao. Kidhar hai kya? Socho. The same challenge can be an opportunity for somebody else. But we are sitting down and crying. Ki koi hamara uddhar karega. My dear friends. Chanakya. And Chanakya's life is not waiting for a solution to come from somewhere outside. It is inside out. Remember, outside in nahi hai, inside out. If you're looking at outside in, you're the most laziest guy. Because you're waiting for the parivartan to happen outside. The real parivartan happens from inside. That's Chanakya. Think about Chanakya's life, my dear friends. Think about Chanakya's life. If you go through it, it's a very nice strategies. A kingmaker, bigger than the king. All those things. But life was full of uncertainty. His father, Acharya Chanak, was killed by Dhananand. What uncertainty? मेरे को पकड़ के मार देगा ये भी क्लियर नहीं था. मैं जिंदा रहूंगा क्या ये भी अनसर्टन था. He had to run away to Takshashila, studied, came back, took up the challenge. Fought against Dhananand and Alexander without having an army, no resources, only Atma Bala and Vichara Shakti. That is what leadership is all about. Leadership is not about nahi aadmi nahi hai to kya tu hai na. You are there, no? तुम्हारे पास मनस्थिति है ना, परिस्थिति को बदल सकते हो. Leadership बैठते हैं, I'm a business leader, पता नहीं है, करो पता, कुछ initiative लो. My dear friends, my job here is not only give you a pep talk, inspire, karo. There are a lot of motivational speakers, and please listen to them. You should listen to them. But what comes out from me is real life experience. इस पे चिंतन मनन किया है और खुद के life में apply किया है, friends. My dear friends, please understand this. You have to prove your leadership. This is the time to show the world that I am there for you. And I want to just tell a few real life examples because Ram actually requested me. Ye sab theek hai. And people have a funny notion about Radhakrishnan Pillai. He writes books. And he also writes books. I'm not a full-time author. I'm a practitioner of Chanakya. And what I'm going to give you examples is not about some theory of the past. Aaj ke kaal mein, abhi, right now in 2020, in this corona situation, I have seen leadership. So let me give you 3 examples. Aajkal case study hona chahiye. How do you say Western model? Case study. Suno, kitna 25 case study bol sakte hai aapko. And you should be the case study also. Okay, so I'll give you 3 case studies since Ram had requested. So the first case study, very important, very popular case study. You don't have to even think about it twice. A very great company. And I started respecting that company more than any other company. And that is called Asian Paints. I don't know if you're aware of this, what Asian Paints did in the lockdown. Everybody is losing jobs. Bade multinational companies. Bade multinational, American companies. Bada unicorn companies. Tum 3 mahina salary nahi de sakte. Leadership. Bade company. Asian Paints, you know what they did? They give increments during lockdown. Job gaya nahi. Job mein increment bada diya. And it's a real thing. Aap jaiye net pe padhiyega. The leadership says, this is the time to inspire my people. And it's not one company. There are hundreds of companies that I know who have given increments and bonuses. In fact, I was giving this particular talk and in Mulund, since all of you are from Thane, Mulund, there is a very famous library in Mulund, book library. It's called Roxy Bookstore. So all of you may be aware of it. It's a very nice brand by itself. Chota sa dukaan hai. So he heard my speech. Okay. And after 3 days, he called me, thank you so much. Mera problem solve kar diya. Kya ho gaya? Sir, the corona problem में मेरे लोग आते हैं, मेरे दुकान थोड़ा बहुत खोलते हैं, पुलिस के डर से खोलते हैं, फिर कस्टमर्स का बुक देते हैं. तो मेरे ऐसे लगा कि भले कुछ भी हो, लेकिन मुझे लोगों को थोड़ा ज्यादा पगार देना चाहिए. और आपका स्पीच सुना, बोला चलो, let me start. So salary तो दिया, छोटा दुकानदार ना, who's got 5 people working, but everybody gave an increment. So right from Asian Paints to your small shop, you decide. And he said, I felt, they are working hard. They're coming all the way, fighting this corona problem. There is no guarantee they will not get it, but आते हैं. पगार दे रहा हूं मैं उनको, full पगार. But I said, this is my leadership thing. और आपने हमें motivate कर दिया. So Asian Paint example is one, but a small bookstore can also decide. And please understand, people don't want money. They want trust in you. कि आज अगर मेरे घर पे प्रॉब्लम है तो मेरा लीडर मेरे साथ खड़ा है. लीडरशिप. इट इज नॉट अबाउट बिजनेस खत्म हो जाएगा, अरे बिजनेस खत्म हो जाएगा तो फिर से खड़ा कर लेंगे. दैट इज लीडरशिप. कौन सा बात है, बिजनेस आएंगे जाएंगे. दैट इज एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इज नॉट अबाउट फेलियर्स, इट्स अबाउट द एबिलिटी टू गेट अप एंड रन. बट रिमेंबर, व्हेन यू रन यू शुड हैव योर पीपल विद यू. You able to keep your people inspired during these particular times? Yes, my dear friends. Now I'll give you the third example, case study. No? Asian Paints, Roxy bookstores. Third, very simple one, industry. You know, Asian Paints ka pata nahi. I work very closely with the diamond industry. Okay, I've been fortunate. पता नहीं मेरी कुंडली में शायद लिखा होगा. आज भी diamond industry के साथ जुड़ा हूँ. So many friends of mine, Dr. Rajesh, who is a student and a very dear friend of mine. He runs a diamond factory. Then, you know, I've done my book launches in New York, again with a diamond factory. You ask Pranav, you know, diamond to hamare sath pade kundali mein mili hui hai. So, you know, we have one of the biggest diamond industries in Surat also and Bombay also. What we have in BKC, Bharat Diamond, the whole, you know, they've got more than 50,000 employees. So, you know, Mehul Bhai, who is the head of the whole thing, he's organized my programs on the very grand, you know, bade aadmi hai, dildar bhi hai. So once he called up, पता नहीं क्या करना है. मतलब पता नहीं क्या करना है. 50,000 लोगों, इतने सारे हजारों कंपनी है वहां पे. भारत डायमंड फॉर्स लीडरशिप. He worked with the government, fought with the government. अब धीरे धीरे पूरा इंडस्ट्री शुरू हो गया. केस स्टडी. My dear friends, ये मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ, it is not about me. मैंने तो शुरू कर ही दिया. चाणक्य has helped me and my company, no problem. But my point is that अगर एशियन पेंट्स में वो लीडरशिप है, अगर रॉक्सी में वो बोलता है 5 जन को साथ में रखना मेरा काम है, that is also leadership. And look at an industry leader able to turn around a whole diamond industry. My dear friends, I don't want to talk much because आपको लगेगा कि ये तो बड़बड़ करने में अच्छा है. मेरा घर का परिस्थिति आपको क्या पता. You know, please understand this. Excuse देना है तो 1000 नहीं 50,000 मिल जाएंगे. काम करना है तो एक ही requirement है, leadership. Yes, my dear friends, leadership. We don't have time. But I want to just summarize these 4 points again because I remember takeaways होना चाहिए. ये आप पे चिंतन मनन करो. I'm giving you very practical small points. Okay, the first thing याद रखिएगा, leadership is in you. नेतृत्व कोई बाहर नहीं है, वो अंदर से शुरुआत होती है. So don't think like a follower waiting for something to happen outside. It is inside. Leadership is inside you. वो परिस्थिति नहीं, मेरी मनस्थिति को अगर मैं ठीक करूंगा तो I become a leader. Second important thing, very important, which I told you, is about Anvikshiki, Sankhya Yoga Lokayata. Whenever you take a decision, look at the numbers with a calm mind, look at a practical plan. PPS, practical, positive and spiritual. Third thing, Mitra Sambandha. Friends लोग से बात करो. Never fight a battle alone. Take some friends along. And fourth, Vriddha Sanyogaha. Learn from everyone. Learn from the experts and you'll have a plan. इससे ज़्यादा बात करते रहूँगा तो आप काम कब करोगे? So आपको काम भी करना है, leadership दिखाना है. So I will be taking up questions, but before that, I have a small request because, you know, a lot of people will come to me and, you know, I know this. In fact, I never thought this, that actually training, mentoring, coaching has now become a profession also. खुद का business तो कर ही रहा हूँ, but अभी training, coaching is also a business. So, for quickly before I take up questions, you know, our company, what it does, you know, Chanakya Anvikshiki Private Limited, so that you get an idea and we are always available for you. Okay, always available for you. I'm not very far from Thane. I'm in Mulund, so it's an LBS road. You know, we have an office at R Square, which is opposite Vinanagar, LBS road. Mulund West में बहुत अच्छा commercial complex है. Please do visit. But what we do, we work with national and international projects. We work with government projects. We have a great team, and everybody is very highly educated, looking at the strategies of Chanakya being implemented in our generation. So quickly, I request Pranav to make a quick presentation just to give you an idea, and then I will come back and answer your questions. Thank you so much. Remember these 4 points. Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you very much,
Doctor. He's the CEO of my company, handles the whole business. Pranav Patel, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Pillai. Yes, as Dr. Pillai mentioned, I would just like to take you. I hope everyone's able to look at the presentation right now, which is there on your screen. Just put it across. Just a moment. Are you able to see it?
No, but you have to click that Chanakya Anvikshiki because I'm able to see 6 screens now. Yeah, that is better. Yeah. Yes, perfect.
All right. So basically, that's the name of our company. We call it Chanakya Anvikshiki Private Limited. Dr. Pillai briefly explained what Anvikshiki is, and we do get into further technical details and also do a lot of workshops and training around this particular topic, which is Anvikshiki. That's why we call our company Chanakya Anvikshiki Private Limited. A brief, we have been there since 2014. Dr. Pillai has been working on Chanakya since 20 years now. The whole idea of the company was to based upon Dr. Pillai's research work on Kautilya Arthashastra, his PhD, which is there, and obviously the well-known book Corporate Chanakya, which is there. So the idea was to start giving services to people who keep approaching us, and Dr. Pillai obviously had this request coming from a lot of people like you, businessmen like you, to help them, mentor, to train them, to guide them in their businesses as well. So the company was set up in 2014. Since then, we've been operational. What I'll do is I'll quickly jump the slides. I would send across you the presentation so you all can go through it in detail at your convenience. What are our offerings? So we have 5 different offerings which we do. So number 1 is consulting, number 2 coaching, number 3 we have different courses, keynotes, and outsourcing are the major offerings that we have. Just to quickly give you a brief of what we do in consulting. So in consulting, we offer leadership consulting services for mid-sized family businesses, and our endeavor here is to help grow a family-run business into a family-owned business. So that's what we say when we start with a client. We would like eventually the business to be family-owned, then be family-run. Idea is to we go in as consultant, and someday we would like to see the company become a board-driven company where we are somewhere a part of the board as board members, and finally becomes a self-run company. The engagement is usually 12 to 24 months, which we do. We do an intervention once or twice in a month, depending on the project requirement which we have with the clients. Second thing is what we do is coaching. This is one-on-one coaching which we do with individuals. So a lot of chairmen, CEOs, CXOs, self-employed businessmen. These are people who need one-on-one coaching. There are people who need someone to guide them at their personal level. Because what happens is usually in large businesses, people at the top become lonely. They need someone to share their thoughts with. They need someone to help them reflect upon their own thoughts. So this is more of coaching program which we do for leaders. This is one-on-one. Again, the engagement is 12 to 24 months, which we get in with our clients. Again, once or twice a month is the kind of intervention which we do with them. Third thing is courses. We have quite a few courses which keep coming up. These are leadership development courses. Usually we look for senior management, some associations, group like 10 is a group of business people. So these are the kind of groups which come to us. They ask for some of the other kind of training programs. We design 1-day workshop, 2-day workshop. We do kind of a 7-day course. So this 7-day course is very much a trend these days because during the lockdown, everyone is home. So we do like a 1-week engagement where every day for 2 hours we do take up a topic and we have a training on that. So 7 days to 8 weeks kind of course. There are different formats in which we design courses depending on what the client is looking at. So these are courses. We also do some open courses where people can register themselves and come in. So we just did something with Townscript, which is like an online platform. So we did a program with Townscript, which was like a 3 hours workshop where people can just buy the ticket and log in and come in. So we do open programs like that as well. Once the lockdown is over, once we can physically have training programs as well, we do trainings, open trainings outside. So we probably look at Kohinoor International is one of our hotels which we worked with. That is Hyatt Regency as well. So in this hotel, we set up our training programs. 1-day, 2-day different workshops we have as a part of the course offering. Third thing that we have is keynotes. Keynotes are basically designed to address specific audiences. If you're having like an annual conference, sales meet, dealer meet, AGMs, town halls, associations also have the regular, the yearly meets. So this is a time when you need someone to come and give you the keynote. You need someone to give that particular note to give direction to the whole organization or the group which is meeting it. And this kind is specifically a format of 1 hour, 30 minutes kind of a format, which happens in the keynotes which are delivered during this programs. And the final thing we look at is outsourcing. So we do have our exclusive network of experts across the globe. So depending on what a client needs, and this usually happens with a consulting client, and we see that there is some kind of a need. Say, for example, finance, and if you have a financial need, probably if it's a small size company going towards a mid-size, it's time for them to have a CFO, and they do not have an in-house CFO. Then we work with one of our partners who is my CFO. They help you have an in-house CFO at the same time the person is not on your payroll. So which helps you transform from a typical accountant-driven kind of a company or an outsourced CA kind of a company to have an in-house CFO in a company. Same thing with HR. We can probably help you with some HR consultants who can come in and probably you can outsource your complete HR facilities as well to someone. Sales, digital transformation is something which is in these days. Everyone wants to go digital, so we help people move from physical to digital in their functioning. So that digital transformation, outsourcing also, which we do. Apart from that, one thing which is very interesting these days, which has come up, as Dr. Pillai is known, and we all know he's a very famous writer. He has 15 bestsellers to his the 15 feathers, I would say, in his cap. So there's a book of his which is How to Write a Book and Make It a Bestseller. Based upon that, we have a one-day workshop which we do on how to write a book and make it a bestseller. So this takes you through the whole process of what goes in from the time you start thinking, how to start structuring your thoughts, going over your writer's block, to writing, editing, post that, publishing, marketing, and different things. One-on-one, if someone is serious about writing and wants someone to hand.
Pranav, we can't hear you right now. Pranav, are you there? We are unable to hear you. Hello? Rahul?
Yes, Ram. Can't hear.
We can't hear Pranav, right?
Oh no, even I can't. I have sent him a private chat पे डाल दिया मैंने, but I don't know, he's not responding.
Just a minute. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I'm taking. We will take over the Q&A session.
Yes.
Just give me a minute. Yeah, friends, we will take the question and answer session. But just before we get started, Dr. Radha, we were in our discussions, we were discussing, how we can take India quite forward in these times, and how we can make India a strong economy. Would you want to share something more on these points, sir?
Doctor, please unmute yourself. Sir, please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. So I think what's important is that Pranav almost completed his presentation and there was some challenge. So don't worry about it. Through our Mitras, the 10 group of networks, we'll try and reach this PPT to everyone. The idea of this PPT is that, just to give an idea of what we do. So right from mentoring to writing books to attending seminars, keynotes, everything about Chanakya and Indian wisdom is there. So we'll get in touch with you. You can get in touch with us. Now, let's now focus on the Q&A session. So would you want to just put me on screen?
Yeah, just a minute, sir. I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll be now answering all the questions. And as Ram is putting me on screen, let me answer his first question. And the question, yeah.
I'm unable to, yeah, now I think good. Now you're on the screen.
Okay, yeah. So everybody can see me, okay?
Yes.
Hear me. Thank you so much. Okay, thanks. So let us start the Q&A.
Yeah, Dr. Radha, my first question to you is how can we make India a strong nation? You were discussing something in our initial discussion. Would you want to share it here, sir?
Absolutely. So even if you don't want to make an India a strong nation, it will become. अपना टाइम आ गया है, अपना टाइम आएगा नहीं, it is आ गया है. The problem is that we are not feeling that we are ready, but the world is ready for India. And let me give you specific examples also. That if you look at every particular field, Indians who have gone abroad, okay, they have succeeded. So if you look at the doctors in America or many developed countries, we are the ones who are actually the leadership position. Software industry, I think Microsoft, Google, IBM, all led by Indians. Even in academia, I travel across the globe and every university, Indian professors, teachers, scientists are respected now. Okay, business, already we are there. The problem is that till now, the challenge was that brain drain. People went abroad and became successful, but now the time has changed. Remember 2020 we are in. Okay, and Abdul Kalam already wrote about, the whole book about India 2020. Apna time aa gaya. Okay, the good part is that for the last so many years, we've been struggling. Population problem from 30 to 130 crore. Then it became bhukka problem. Wars were happening. Economy sure nahi tha. Population growth. Luckily, we are a stable economy now. If you actually study economics, you'll understand today we have really good reserves. So don't worry, kya hoga. Kuch nahi hoga. Kyunki hum log aage badh chuke. We're already world's third or the fourth fastest growing economy. So now, at the macro level, the world is ready for India. But is India ready for the world? That's the question. And what we should do is next 5 years, take a prana. Okay, 5 years, 2020 to 2025. एक ही काम करना है. अपना काम जो करना है वो करना है. Okay? एक ही काम करना है, जो अपने पास काम दिया है वो करना है और ठीक करना है और वर्ल्ड क्लास करना है. Don't do some mediocre activity. So if you are a businessman, it's a dharma to do business at world class. Okay? People talk about manufacturing ka kya hoga, then iska kya hoga. Forget all this. It doesn't matter which sector you are. Start from where you are. And today we have probably, I don't like to say this, but there's a trust deficit with China. But that is what we call advantage India. I'm not against Chinese. I've been to China and believe me, if you study their work culture, it's efficiency, proficiency. We Indians for the next 5 years should only focus on one word, that is productivity. So if you're able to produce, 10 units with 5 people, why can't we produce, 20 units with 5 people or 6 people extra? Give them salaries. Money is not a problem. Today, I tell you, I work with venture capitalists in a very close way. The money that is flowing into India, I'm not using the word coming into India, flowing into India, it's phenomenal. You only know about the stories of Jio and Facebook and everything coming together. In the lockdown period, how much FDI has come in, nobody's focusing. Try. It's all real aakde. Sankhya, yes. So we are ready. Now we have got something called as capital. Okay, paisa hai. We are the world's largest market. No, we are the world's largest leadership producers also. It has to, of course, start from the education system, because the education system is actually an examination system. Pass again, no. Anyway, I'm doing my bit at the education part of it. But everybody sitting over here has to do only one thing: wealth creation. Okay, and India is ready for the world. We are ready with productivity, and the government policy is also helpful for us. Now Indian brands have to become global brands, and it is possible. If you look at even a kirana shop, when you go and buy an Indian product, it is not bad. It's go through its testing and all those things. My only worry, when I say worry, the concern is basically we should not lose this opportunity. Next 5 years, look, See, भारत को अगर महान बनाना है तो every individual has to contribute. Okay, and businessmen are the most important to contribute. We are the taxpayers. We create wealth for the country. हम लोग बैठे रहते हैं. So what I'm saying, next 5 years, give it not your best. Give it your better than the best. 18-20 घंटे काम करने के लिए 2 बार सोचना भी नहीं. घर से परमिशन लेके रखोगे 5 साल राष्ट्र के लिए पैसा बनाने के लिए. उसके बाद लाइफ लॉन्ग रिटायरमेंट. Become a mentor to others. So my dear friends, when the lockout opens out, you don't have a choice but to go and work 24/7. Yes, for the next 5 years to do it, you will make money, I will make money, country will make money, employment create hoga. I'm very clear and it is statistically proven. आंकड़ों में बात कर रहा हूँ that the Zoom period will happen. Yesterday I was reading Mint. The front page says that India is yet to face the worst recession. अरे छोड़ो, इंडिया कितने recession देखे, कितने लूट के गए हैं. But we have got an inner strength to come back and bounce back from every adversity. Of course, every nation has got its own way of coming out of situations. They also came out of World War I and World War II. But now, the Indianness has to come with a spiritual path. And let me just wind up by saying, अपना काम करो. And बहुत deeply काम करो, strategically काम करो, practically काम करो, measurable काम करो, productive करो, efficiency करो. Maybe I can take a different session altogether because the science of how to make your organization productive with the required minimum resources. It's not about people and hiring and money. We'll talk about that later on. But I just want to wind up this question by telling something very important. Okay, that is very, very important. It is not about me. Swami Vivekananda, great visionary, told this. 2025, India will be the global leader. Okay, and when I say global leader, not economic global leader. That is a Western way of measuring. Economy is success. No, we will be the knowledge capital of the world. Yes, Ayurveda, yoga is already coming back. But we should also become the business capital of the world. We also should create wealth. Next 5 years, घर पे बोल दो, permission ले लो, माँ बाप को बोल दो, निकला हूँ युद्ध करने. अभी तो डॉक्टर्स युद्ध कर रहे हैं. एक बिजनेसमैन अपने क्षेत्र में जाएगा, वो वेल्थ क्रिएट करेगा और उसका फर्स्ट कमिटमेंट है कि वो मेरे से शुरुआत होगी. 2025 will be ruling the world, but please don't lose this opportunity. History is in making. Be a part of that making. तुम कुछ भी नहीं करोगे तो भी भारत निकल जाएगा. But उस गाड़ी में आप भी चढ़ जाओ. And believe me, we will create the change in our own lifetime. चाणक्य is not about कि आगे देखूंगा. मेरे जीवन काल में मुझे स्वर्ण भारत देखना है. And Swami Vivekananda said, कि basically if you look at the 2025 India, it will be more glorious than the past India. It will be like a spark. हम लोग बोलते हैं ना स्वर्ण काल था. हमारा काल is not स्वर्ण. It's diamond, platinum, gold, silver, everything put together. Work hard. Next 5 years after this webinar, you take a sankalpa that I will work hard with my business and I will not give up. Stop not till thy goal is reached. Thank you.
There are few questions, Dr. Radha. With your permission, I would want to take them one by one. We have from Mr. Anurag. He's asking us how to keep mind and clear. Could you just elaborate slightly more on it? How to keep mind clear, calm and clear?
Yeah. So start practicing yoga and meditation. India's greatest gift to the world is yoga and meditation. Yoga generally is known as yoga, asanas, and pranayama. Okay, that is one part of it. But yoga goes to different levels also. So we have Patanjali Yoga Sutras. It talks about Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 steps of yoga. So first is physical level. So you look at fitness, weight kaise kam karna hai, pranayam. But there's also mental part of it, the meditation part, and of course samadhi, the spiritual part of it. I don't want to go into that. But I would say that if you want to be calm and quiet, start meditating every day. Okay. And meditation is not about, sab kuch vichar zero ho jayega. No. I would say start from the lockdown period. Okay. Sit calm and quietly for 20 minutes every day. Okay. Without looking at the mobile. Shant. Zyada kuch nahi. Man mein se bahut sare vichar aayenge. It's all okay, because mind is used to being so restless. And now is the time to calm yourself. Start with yourself. 20 minutes per day. धीरे धीरे आप practice करोगे तो मन शांत हो जाएगा. You'll be able to take certain decisions quietly. And then धीरे धीरे the mind is the one which will make you productive. You're not just leaders, you have to be thought leaders. Start with yoga, physically fit, because अगर आप physically fit नहीं हो, you can't think. Because a बीमार आदमी can never think other than बीमारी. So खाना पीना सब पे थोड़ा weight reduction कर लो, whatever way. So physically fit. So we always say without physical fitness, you can never have mental clarity. Very, very clear. So thoda physical fitness, mental fitness, intellectual clarity, and spiritual growth. That is what yoga and meditation. Start with 20 minutes per day. Practice it for 1 month. Okay, 20 minutes per day, shant raho. If you want any specific meditation tips, get in touch with me later. I'm actually guiding the whole young generation to meditate, not for realization, but to keep your mind quiet for productivity and for better studies. Thank you.
We have one more question, Dr. Radhakrishnan, from Mr. Prem Naik.
Yeah.
I think this question is also similar to Mr. Anurag's question. A leader needs to be mindful. So how can he imbibe that quality?
Yeah. So I think the word mindful itself is the answer which you gives in full. Okay. So mind ko, if you understand, so let me get a little bit of a Shastriya discussion. What are scriptures saying? See, the inner world is very beautiful and it's a bigger world than the outer world. The outer world, what we see, we get carried away. कि दिखता है, नहीं. अंदर का जो दुनिया है, it's very big, it's very deep. And all our rishis, okay, they were all scientists and their laboratory was inside. हमारे यहाँ पे laboratory मतलब physical laboratory, space में जाना है तो अपने को कोई instrument बनाना पड़ेगा, telescope, microscope. No. That is the Western scientific methodology. Indian methodology is sit inside, think about it, discover the realities. Imagine how did we discover the distance between the sun and the earth? Exactly. How did we discover zero? How did we discover so many things? By going inside. Our laboratory was inside. Okay. Now, if you go to the inner laboratory, our rishis have told that it's also a world of thoughts. वो भी एक बड़ी दुनिया है. Today, the Western world has come into mental health and cognitive science and all those things, subconscious mind. छोड़ो भैया, हम बहुत आगे निकल चुके हैं. That is our rishi parampara. Now, coming back, two things you have to understand. There's a difference between mana and buddhi. Okay. And we don't understand the difference between the two. Mana is the mind, buddhi is the intellect. So the mind is generally restless because thanks to technology and this, every time a WhatsApp comes, gone. With so many WhatsApp, so many groups, gone. So I think the mind is like that only. It is like mana markataha. The monkey cannot sit at one place, keep jumping. You have to understand, leader is also having a mind, which is a jumping jack. But the leader keeps the intellect above the mind. Okay. So have thoughts, but you have to start taking decisions. Kaun sa thought important hai? This is the process that we call as Anvikshiki. Anvikshiki tells you, first of all, how to calm down your thoughts. Yoga, meditation, calm down. Uske baad kya? That is another step. Calm mind is not productive mind. Calm mind is the first requirement for productive intellect. बुद्धि का वापर कैसे करना? Science of thinking. Yes. So my dear friends, you are absolutely right. The mind has to be calmed down through meditation, yoga. But afterwards क्या? छुरी sharp हो गया है. कहाँ use करोगे? That is the next process. What I'm saying is start with the mind, but understand you have to be productive at the intellectual level. You have to be a thought leader. We'll talk about that some other time. But मन और बुद्धि में फर्क समझ लेना. You have to be intelligent, not just mental. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Radhakrishnan. We have one question from Ms. Asavari Palwankar. She is asking us, should leader think from the heart or from the brain?
Yeah. So very simple, that the head has to be above the heart. Okay. So if you look at the composition God has given us, we stand straight. We are not like animals. उनका heart और उनका mind एक ही है, same level. But we are given heart यहाँ पे है, दिमाग यहाँ पे है. Okay. So be a heartful person, be a mindful person. Because mind is about emotions, heart is about emotions. But ये ज़रूरी है. Our problem is that we are so emotional, we get carried away. I'm not telling you don't be emotional. Okay, I'm not telling you don't have emotions. Okay, it's natural, If you don't have feelings, what kind of a man are you? Yeah? We are not robots. We have to be sensitive. We have to be caring. We should have the softness in us. So that's such a quality of a leader. Empathy. Okay, so you should have emotions, caring. But remember one thing: keep your head above your heart. It is said that have emotions, but don't become emotional. Okay, have sentiments, but don't become sentimental. Carried away by emotions is a danger, but understanding emotions is a strength. Feelings is very important to be a good leader for a good human being. But if you get carried away by feelings, you will not be rational. Sankhya. Okay? So have your heart, be a large-hearted person, but you should be a sharp and intelligent person also. Head above the heart. Thank you.
They're very nicely answered, Dr. Radhakrishnan. One question we had we have a lot of students attending our session in this particular section also. And I know that you have been doing so much for the community out there in terms of going to so many colleges and motivating students to do better out there, think better, because that's the future. That's the India that we are dealing with at this point of time. One question that we have is for startup business, how to go with leadership. If someone has just started a business, how to go with leadership?
Yeah. So I think I've been working very closely on this. This is called the entrepreneur culture that is coming into India. हम लोग जो बच्चे थे पढ़ लिख के जॉब करना है. So it is all about placements, But now the things have changed. The younger generation at least thinking about entrepreneurship. The only problem with them is that they don't have guidance and mentorship, because idea is not business. For any business to happen, you require minimum 3 years of commitment. So my suggestion to all the college students that take up an idea, make it into a business plan, but please have a mentor along with you. Because ज्ञान के लिए भी आपको गुरु लगता है ना, तो business के लिए भी आपको एक business guru लगता है. So my request to all the 10 members over here, the managing committee is that, please start a small committee within 10 or a group which will mentor college students. If you look at Thane, most of you, there are so many colleges. In fact, I can actually help you to get in touch with some of the principals of colleges, because I'm in the education field. But can you actually go and mentor? Ek to mentoring. So if you're a leader, Raja hai to Rajguru lagta hai. But I think you as a leader can go and mentor the next generation. That is also a responsibility. So for the young college students, I would say, take up an idea, but idea is not business. You have to create wealth out of it. So there is a process to it. And all these businessmen who are now struggling with the corona problem, they also see many challenges. So they will help you. They will avoid you to make mistakes. And probably, believe me, if they tell you, they may invest into your idea. Isn't it? There are some people like, okay, bacha, 1 lakh le le, lekin main tera business mein partner banunga. So I think it's a very great idea that we, all of us put together, sitting over here, should also mentor. And the first thing is that आपके घर पे अगर कोई businessman बनना चाहते हैं, तो उनको encourage कीजिए. So I think it's a generation's responsibility in our generation to guide them, and the young generation to think about mentorship as a very important part of business leadership. Thank you so much.
Yes. There is one question out over here from a garment retail store owner. He says, sir, we don't expect any good business till November. So till that time, how do we survive or manage funds and payments?
So this is a very common question with most of things. The garment industry has been suffering. This industry has been suffering. Please understand, every industry is suffering. So it is not related to garments. It's related to every industry. Okay. So I'll tell you where the solution would come in. Okay. The solution would come, number one, we have the confidence that we have found a vaccine. Okay. So देखो मरने वाले वैसे भी मरेंगे. Malaria, this, there are people who just got sick and died. So please understand, don't run away from death. So the biggest fear of death is something which is actually clouding us. So the confidence that we will get when the medical fraternity, the researchers actually bring out some solutions from the vaccine point of view. And let me tell you, we are almost close to it. Yesterday I was reading in the papers that, 6 उन लोग ने sampling किए हैं and all those things. Finally, they come down to something. 1 महीने में आ जाएगा. Now coming, this is where your leadership comes in. So if you're into the garment industry, let me tell you, how to manage till the next maybe November and December is something that you have to think through. Okay. Because sometimes you have to talk, maybe liquidity is your challenge. Maybe आपको कोई assets को liquidate करना पड़ेगा. Maybe a working capital loan लेना पड़ेगा. But please don't remove people. My simple request is that, just look at the basic salaries to be given. थोड़ा manage कीजिए. And today government and banks are giving funds. But I will look at the other side of it. आपने नवंबर दिसंबर तक क्या करने का पूछा, मैं आपको उल्टा बोलता हूँ. नवंबर दिसंबर के बाद जो शुरुआत होगी, okay, you can't stop it. Mark my words, I'm telling on a public platform. Mark my words, that time if you don't have your people, sorry, you have lost the opportunity. आपके जो योद्धा है, आपके जो employees है, उनको संभाल के रखिए. 3 महीने की बात है भैया. घर पे जब पैसा नहीं होता तो हम खींच लेते ना इधर उधर से. घर के हमारे जो माता है उनको पूछ लो. When there is no resources, you manage it ना. थोड़ा management करो. एक दूसरे से बात करो. Please, 10 members also help each other. Remember one thing, I'm afraid कि what is going to happen to you after November, December, when the business will boom. Your garment industry में बाकी सब फायदा लेके जाएंगे और आप बंद करके रखोगे. So my friend, manage this in a very practical way. Talk to financial experts. Maybe that is the role, and I've been doing that. You have to look at your numbers. आंकड़ों में काम करो. Find out a solution for 3 or 4 months. It is not very difficult. But my dear friends, अभी आपने संभाल के रखा है. The boom period आने वाला है November, December के बाद. I work with the garment industry, by the way. So we have a client, उनको यही बता रहा था, अभी कुछ नहीं है, नवंबर दिसंबर में वापस शुरू हो जाएगा. बारिश का सीजन निकलने जो जितने शादियां नहीं हुए हैं, वो दिसंबर की शादी तो होंगे ही होंगे, वो मार्च से लेके जो नवंबर की शादी है वो भी आएंगे, सारे हॉल फुल हो जाएंगे, कपड़े ले ही नहीं रहे, वी आर नॉट एबल टू बाय ड्रेसेस, अंडरवेयर, कुछ नहीं ले पा रहे, यू नो दैट, isn't it? So the whole idea is that रोटी कपड़ा मकान में कपड़ा is a basic necessity. Prepare yourself what to do after November, December. Till then, manage strategically. Take some friends along. Mitra sambandha vriddha sanyoga. All the best for the next 3-4 months. Thank you.
I'm taking this. There is one very nice question that's come from one of the participants out here, Mr. Mahesh Patak. Dr. Radhakrishnan, we have a lot of people who are working in organizations also attending the session, and I think it is a good question which would be for all the people who are working in organizations and not heading the organizations. This question is, sir, during this period of lockdown and remote work, employees are expected to be more and more hands-on, independent, and be responsible. What ideas you would suggest to further promote ownership mentality in employees?
Very good. I think first of all, ownership is a mentality. आपने जवाब दे दिया. It is not about, you know, मेरा boss मेरे को काम बताएगा, be responsible. अरे be responsible even if your boss doesn't tell you, यार. Today we are expected to be more responsibilities. I say irrespective of the time, you have to be always responsible. Otherwise, you know, employees a mindset, हाँ, मेरे को पगार मिलेगा, कंपनी आगे बताएगा, मेरे को प्रमोशन कंपनी देगा. Please understand, even if you're an employer or an employee, you should take responsibility. Don't wait. You know, I'll tell you, you know, I've seen so many people who have told their bosses, sir, पगार मत देना, लेकिन काम चालू रखूंगा मैं. See, that is the quality of a leadership. Mark my words, huh? I have seen employees going to their bosses saying that, sir, कोई बात नहीं, difficult times I will be with you. Do you think these are employee mindset? No, formally they're employee, but they take the initiative and say, कोई बात नहीं sir, 3 महीना मत दीजिए, I have savings. इतना तो आपने कमाया है ना good times में. Support the company and believe me, when the time opens up, they'll point you. क्योंकि 100 employees में से आपने बोला sir, कोई बात नहीं, हम आपके साथ हैं. So I would say whether you're an employee or an employer, okay, responsibility is a minimum quality. It is not about employment; it's a mindset. So when a person is responsible, he is actually a leader. And it doesn't matter whether, you know, छोटा आदमी हो बड़ा. See, security guard जो अपने building में रहता है, you know, if he takes up a responsibility, I salute him, because he is not thinking like वो 7,000 रुपया मिलता है, 10,000 रुपया मिलता है. वो बोलता है नहीं, I have a duty to fulfill. पगार नहीं मिलेगा तो चोर आएगा तो मैं पकड़ूंगा. Understand this? You already have answered it. Take the responsibility. Don't wait the others to tell you. Be more responsible. Responsibility is my duty. That's my nature. And everything, do it better than the best. Boss ने 100 काम दिया है ना, तो 200 करके दो. That is productivity. Don't wait for the boss to give you targets. You set your own targets and say, I will be better than my boss. Think about it. We'll do a program on how to change an employee mindset to a responsible mindset. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Radhakrishnan. All other questions, we will take it outside the session. Mr. Rahul Amrute, our chairman, I will request you to take the session further from here. Thank you so much. Rahul ji, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, Ram. I think I was not able to unmute myself. So thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure listening to you today.
Thank you.
One observation I made after attending more than 50 webinars during this lockdown is that this webinar was conducted dil se, straight from your heart. Your ability to connect with the audience is just divine, I would say. And I have a reason for saying it divine, because when you talk, there's nothing that we hear other than your voice. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot for making us realize how important it is to for a leader to be a leader from your mind and action and not just a position. Thank you so much. I would kindly request our founder member Deepak to just present us a vote of thanks for Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai. Yes, Deepak.
Just a minute. Let me unmute him. Yeah, Deepak, you are unmuted. Deepak, you can speak.
I think Deepak can't.
Deepak ji, you can talk, but we can't hear you right now. You're already unmuted, Deepak Kapoor ji.
Not able to unmute.
दीपक कपूर जी आप ऑलरेडी आपका ऑडियो चालू है. You can just start talking.
It's 1 o'clock.
Ram, I don't think he's.
Ram, you.
Ram, you can request Rajiv or someone else to.
Am I audible now?
Deepak, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Ram. Thank you so much, Radha, for such an enlightening session on leadership during uncertain times. The Chanakya way. I'm sure it has given us all an impetus to think rationally, positively, and confidently. We all know that Chanakya was an ancient Indian teacher, philosopher, economist, and a royal advisor. How he helped the Mauryan Emperor Chandragupta to rise in power. Same way, Radha, you are considered as the modern face of Chanakya Niti across business management circles. Radha has done extensive research on Kautali Arthashastra, and it shows in the way you spoke about the ancient thought process, which is relevant still today across generations. Big takeaway from your today's session is leadership. I think that is a big responsibility. It's not the position, it's the person, but the responsibility implemented by a leader. It's not about kisne kya kiya, it's about tumne khud kya kiya. Then your second point was basically Anvikshiki. I think I'm pronouncing it rightly. Science of strategic thinking. Then Mitra Sambandha, and then Vriddha Sambandha. It means learning from the experience. Even young and next generation is on our Vriddha Sambandha, as they are best in technology. Inculcate technology. That is what the big takeaway is. And today, very aptly, you have described the situation. Parasthiti doesn't matter. Manasthiti matters. Even Bhagavad Gita was written on the battlefield. So friends, a big takeaway from today's session is don't be scared of uncertain times. Take precautions, strategize, and get on the battlefield to come out of the uncertain times. We would love to see you, Radha, again on the big screen, as we all know that you are coming up with a movie with Ajay Devgan on Chanakya. Again, we thank your generosity for taking your valuable time and help us raise our energy levels in such uncertain times. Many thanks from 10 and all the participants who took their time out. So guys, be responsible. You set on your targets. I'll end with a nice Chanakya quote. A person should not be too honest. Straight trees are cut first and honest people are screwed first. So thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful, Deepak. Thank you for summing it so nicely. I would request all the visitors to give their feedback. And I would like to make the concluding remarks now. Ram, should I go ahead with the concluding remarks?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, friends, what you saw today is what 10 members share every week. Positive energy, knowledge about what's happening in the industry, support to any operational problem that is beyond your domain expertise, opportunity to learn and mentor fellow entrepreneurs. An added benefit is a chance to attract a lot of business. So who should join 10 and why? Budding and established entrepreneurs are welcome to join 10. 10 is committed to support, promote, and develop entrepreneurs, and your activities are focused on building entrepreneur community. Please take a call on becoming a part of 10. And then membership is of rupees 15,000 and one-time registration fees of 2,000. So thank you all for attending and making such a positive contribution. Once again, I take the opportunity to thank Dr. Pillai for his immense knowledge and the way he connected and spoke to us. It was amazing. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Radhakrishnan ji, people have a query that if they want to reach out to you, how do they get connected with you? Is there some email ID or some number that they can reach out to you?
Yeah, it's rchanakyapillai@gmail.com.
Okay, rchanakyapillai@gmail.com. I will share it with you.
Type it on the chat so everyone can get it.
Yes, I can.
I will do that.
You can just type it on the chat.
Yeah. So at the same time, if somebody wants to get in touch with me, I'll give you my mobile number, 98203.
Sure.
74796. Okay. Even 98203 74796, and the email ID is rchanakyapillai@gmail.com. Okay. And I'll also give you alternative Pranav's number. Okay. 88980 3 1123. 88980 3 1123. So be in touch with us. Suppose I'm not able to lift the phone, please send me a WhatsApp message. because many times I'm in the webinars and traveling and all those things. But be assured that if you send me a WhatsApp, at least in the next 2 days I'll be answering. So I will definitely answer and be in touch. But send me a message. We'll be in constant communication. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Have a good day. Have a good day. Bye.
Friends, thank you for being there. Thank you for your active participation, and look forward to seeing you all in the next session of 10, which will be announced shortly. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Fantastic year ahead. You all can log out. I'll wait for some more time for you all to close the session, and then I'll end the meeting for today.